This is Capital One Tournament Central.
Notre Dame and North Carolina getting set to tip off on TBS. And as we look ahead to the matchup, we asked the coaches, Mike Bray of the Fighting Irish and the Tar Heels' Roy Williams, about their keys to the game in Northwestern Mutual Planning for Success.
Well, controlling tempo. You can't get in a racetrack going up and down with them. You know, you pick your spot to run, but for the most part, we've got to bring those possessions down. Carolina wants a lot of possessions. We don't want that many. And then we have to be very, very efficient. We have to rebound well.
The game plan's good for the first 6 minutes, and then you have to go by the seat of your pants. And so that's what we'll do. And I think that we'll have a plan that we want to go through. We'll have an attack the way we want to do it. But once we get in the game, that's when everything will show up.
Meanwhile, Coach Roy Williams headed for a double knee replacement at some point. Empathizing with Mike Bray of Notre Dame, who tore a calf muscle. The two good friends saying hello on the sideline. How do you see this game developing?
Well, you heard Mike Bray talk about needing to control the pace. They need to do that and make most of their good shots. They've got to shoot a really high percentage and compete on the glass.
Possibly the best front line and possibly the best backcourt on the same team in North Carolina. Difficult to beat if you go up, like Coach Bray said, in a track meet.
Well, can they control the tempo? Can they rebound? Those are the two big keys. I don't think they can. I got North Carolina.
Oh, you did?
One of those teams hopes to do what Syracuse is doing now, is celebrating in their locker room as they're headed for the Final Four. That'll do it for us on Capital One Tournament Central. After the break, it's game time here on TBS. Notre Dame and North Carolina, the winner to date with Syracuse in the Final Four. We'll see you back here at the half.
A steal! Jackson with the bucket! Notre Dame has the lead! High flying, my goodness. North Carolina looking every bit like a #1 seed. Jackson hits the pocket of Koenig, and the Irish can ice it. Page, roasting hot. He is locked in. Tar Heels and the Fighting Irish will turn sweet into elite. And we welcome you from Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, PA, the East Regional Final. The stage is set, and it's a battle in the ACC. The 6th seed Notre Dame against the top-seeded Tar Heels of North Carolina, and the winner here will advance to take on Syracuse, the 10th seed, an improbable win over Virginia to make it to the Final Four. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Philadelphia. Great to have you with us tonight. Alongside Steve Smith, I'm Brian Anderson. Dana Jacobson is our reporter. Well, let's start now with Notre Dame because, let's face it, they do have a leprechaun as their mascot. It is Easter Sunday, and the way they played in this tournament, they've had some improbable wins.
You're totally right, Brian. They have a little bit of luck with the Irish, but more importantly, they are mentally tough. They are battle-tested, and you can see as they go through this tournament, their last 2 NCAA tournament games, in the final minute, they have outscored their opponents 14-3.
It is interesting that Notre Dame has hardly led in this tournament. North Carolina has hardly trailed. They're getting great work from Marcus Page.
Yes, they are, Brian. You talk about Bryce Johnson, the double-double machine, but Marcus Page is the key. Struggled from the three-point line during the regular season, but in this tournament, 11 for 21 behind the line.
And it's interesting to note North Carolina is going to start at the same goal they started the other night, where they got off to such a great start shooting the basketball. There is one spot left in the Final Four. It's the East Regional Final here tonight. North Carolina and Notre Dame. It is a hot ticket here in Philadelphia. Sellout crowd as you take a look at the starting lineups. And Steve Smith, what's got your eye before we get this game started as far as matchups go?
Well, the point guard play, Demetrius Jackson and Joel Berry, those two are going to be the key for this game. Obviously, Joel Berry getting a chance to get the ball inside into Page, and Demetrius Jackson has to do a lot, but he has to get his 2 feet in the paint for the Irish.
Only one #1 seed remaining and 2 hobbled coaches. Mike Bray, in our game on Friday, injured his calf. He's actually wearing a boot. So interesting, as we talked about in the Open, that North Carolina, they have rolled through the first 3 games to get here. Meanwhile, Notre Dame they've only led in 28 minutes thus far. So about 76% of games played so far for Notre Dame, they've been behind. They've had late comebacks. Roy Williams' team has been a juggernaut so far, looking every bit like a #1 seed. Notre Dame coming off a win over Wisconsin, came right down to the finish. 61-56 was the final in the Sweet 16 matchup, and North Carolina with a 101-86 win over Indiana, and they were deadly from three-point range. Mike Bray's heard all he needs to hear about North Carolina. This will be the third matchup between these two schools this year. We had a chance to hear from Mike Bray about his team in the Elite Eight.
I told our team on Monday before this all started, I said, I see in the power ratings, whatever website it was, we're the 16th team of the Sweet 16. I know one thing for sure. I think we're the toughest team in the tournament, and I still believe we're the toughest team left. We're a very mentally tough group that believes.
And that speaks to the fact that Notre Dame has been able to answer some late deficits and come back. That matchup against Wisconsin where they were down and they're scoring 8 points in the final 19 seconds of that game, had 3 steals in the final 13 seconds of that game. It was an impressive testament to what Notre Dame has been able to do all season long.
You're totally right, Brian. Demetrius Jackson led that charge, got a couple steals, gambled when he wants to put pressure on you with the basketball, but more importantly on the defensive end, he can change the game. As we see in the end of the game, they're down, but they decided to just go after it. And Demetrius Jackson, that was a score, but then watch the steal and score. And now, this is the biggest player of the game. He goes for the steal where Wisconsin was trying to get across the timeline to call timeout.
Notre Dame has won their first 3 NCAA tournament games by an average of 4.3 points per game. And yet here they are in the Elite Eight with a chance to go to the Final Four. First trip for them it would be since 1978. Meanwhile, North Carolina, the last #1 seed standing, they have all gone down. Amazing run for the upsets in this NCAA tournament. That has been the theme. Marcus Page was deadly from behind the arc. Matter of fact, North Carolina hit their first 7 3-pointers in that victory over Indiana on Friday. First 2 meetings this year, it was a Notre Dame win in South Bend in February, and then at the ACC tournament, March 11th, North Carolina throttled Notre Dame. Here we go. The final Elite Eight matchup, and the tip is controlled by North Carolina, and away we go. One more slot remaining at the Final Four in Houston. And right away they get it inside to Bryce Johnson, and he scores right away.
That's totally a tough matchup for Steve Astoria, and obviously on this end he has to take advantage of a bigger player guarding him, and they have Bryce Johnson on VJ Beacham. But Astoria gives up so much size and athleticism to Bryce Johnson down there on the block.
Johnson coming off a double-double against Indiana, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Demetrius Jackson running the point. What a matchup tonight. Jackson and Joe Barry looking up top for August, and he catches and finishes nicely. Notre Dame starts their scoring inside as well.
Nice offensive execution. Cleared out the strong side, and nice lob to Zach August.
Kennedy Meeks working inside. Double team comes, and a turnover poked away by VJ Beacham. Jackson will kick it. Matt Farrell getting the start once again for the Irish. His 4th consecutive start. Hadn't started a game all year until the NCAA tournament. As Vastoria comes up short, gets his own. Vastoria to the hole. Yes.
Well, Brian, Vastoria's guarding Bryce Johnson, but on this end, the cross match, they want to have Bryce Johnson on VJ Beacham. Vastoria does a nice job shooting the 3, but quickness, be able to get the basketball back and then drive it to score.
And Johnson turns twice, blocked. And there to put it in is Justin Jackson. So good defense to start, but Jackson had a free run and is able to score the basket.
The reason why, Brian, Notre Dame has to come down and double team. That leaves a guy free to run to the offensive glass, and that was Jackson.
There's Farrell with the ball, number 5 in blue. He's been quite a story in the NCAA tournament. Gives Notre Dame a much different look. And Farrell did not start in either one of the matchups against North Carolina this year. Beacham on a take, and and it counts. And one for V.J. Beacham, a chance at a three-point play.
He is so confident, Brian. Watch him pump fake, no panic, drives the basketball, didn't flip it, went right to the chest of Kennedy Meeks and scored the basket.
Beacham's been impressive this year. He had a rough NCAA tournament last year. Remember, Notre Dame had a beautiful run to the Elite Eight game in that matchup with Kentucky. One of the great games of the tournament last year, won by Kentucky. Beacham, as the sixth man, only averaged just shy of 6 points a game. He's given him a lot of production this year.
Yeah, you talk about that run. He only had 4 total points last year in the tournament. He is leading the Irish in scoring this year.
As Johnson hits. So Bryce Johnson active early for the Tar Heels. This is the 4th time these two teams have met in the NCAA tournament. North Carolina has won the first 3 matchups. First time they've matched up since 1987. Astoria kicks it. Farrell with the shot clock at 3, all the way in. Finds Beacham behind the arc. Three-pointer is good. That's the dimension that Farrell brings to the Fighting Irish.
Yes, indeed, Brian. Coach Bray talked about, I wanted to have 2 point guards in the lineup, and he's first time starting Matt Farrell's in the NCAA tournament, and watch what he does. This is another point guard getting into the defense, kicks it out, and V.J. Beacham hits a wide open, uncontested shot because of Farrell's penetration.
Farrell had 7 points, 3 assists against Wisconsin on Friday. Foul there was on August. That'll be his first. Foul trouble with August, with all of the size of North Carolina, will be a story here today. We got another whistle and a foul, and let's see, that's going to belong to Notre Dame. And they're going to get V.J. Beacham. So a couple of fouls this trip down the floor against the Fighting Irish.
Well, it's the size of North Carolina. Kennedy Meeks, Bryce Johnson, both guys 6'10". Meeks, he carves out space, and Bryce Johnson, pogo stick goes over the top. You have to box them out. You have to have bodies on these guys.
North Carolina now 31 wins on the year. They have won 8 straight games going back into the regular season. And we have a turnover, travel. Page got going a little fast. Roy Williams calls this North Carolina team one of his favorite teams that he has ever coached. And that is a significant coaching resume for the Hall of Fame member. His 13th year here at North Carolina as the head man. Had great years under Dean Smith as an assistant.
And we know the pace of the game. North Carolina wants to get out and keep it at a fast pace, but so far Notre Dame is playing well at this pace because they have guys that can make shots, and they're doing a decent job of defending and rebounding.
And a turnover. Jackson in his pocket, Page up ahead. It's Vastoria who fouls Jackson. This North Carolina team is so fast. That's the one thing that jumps out at you quickly.
Yes, Brian, when you see the turnover, Page gets it up to Jackson. He's actually even with Vastoria. One dribble, and he creates a lot of space, and Vastoria couldn't do anything but fouling.
So Justin Jackson, 14 points, had 5 rebounds, dished out 3 assists in that win over Indiana, hits the first. We remind you can watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. Jackson hits them both. A 66% free throw shooter during the course of the year.
Brian, Roy Williams subs Kennedy Meeks, and he brings in Joel James. He's bigger. You're talking about a guy with unbelievable size. And he moves his feet pretty well to be a big fella.
And interesting, it's not Isaiah Hicks in this spot. James getting an early run here. This massive front line for North Carolina as Jackson will pull a 3. And James will get the rebound. Joe Barry rolling the point. Page typically plays off the ball. Barry, an excellent point guard, the sophomore. James inside. The lefty can't get it to go. Bryce Johnson wrestles it out of the hands of August. That's where he is so dangerous. Rebounds to be had usually go to Bryce Johnson.
And decision making time from Mike Bray. So far, so good because it's 10-10, but initially, defensively, they're doing a nice job. It's just on the glass. His size is beating down Notre Dame.
Mike Bray talked to us yesterday about controlling the tempo, working the clock, burning the clock with the dribble. And they'll try to get into their stuff a little later in the shot clock than normal. Here's Vastoria, rises up and can get the roll. It's Johnson with the rebound. He's tacking them on here quickly. Inside, James. Pass from Barry and a foul, and that's number 2 on Zach August. And now Notre Dame has some early foul trouble with their big man. Off and running in Philadelphia. East Regional, the final spot for the Final Four.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. I'm Dana Jacobson with this Powerade sideline report. We are even at 10 apiece between Notre Dame and North Carolina, both teams vying for that final spot in the Final Four. For both head coaches, different meaning here. I talked with Roy Williams yesterday, who has said this is one of his favorite teams, if not his favorite team. He said getting them there would mean so much. He got emotional, choked up about it. Says he stays awake at night, hoping and praying, just looking at everything to be sure that nothing has been missed, no matter where this ends. As for head coach Mike Bray, this trip would be his first ever to the Final Four as a head coach. He said it's the ultimate endorsement in our profession. He said it's always been a dream of his to be at those Friday practices at the Final Four with fans and coaching friends in the stands. It's just an amazing dream he would like to accomplish.
And back-to-back Elite Eights for Mike Bray. Thank you, Dana. That great run last year, and all the things that Mike Bray heard last year about matching up against Kentucky, very similar to what he's hearing this year with the powerhouse North Carolina team, and the way Carolina has been playing in this tournament. As Farrell with the three-pointer, putting a little spin on it.
Did you see his reaction? He smiled and said, hey, it went in. He stuck that one on the bracket, but it went down.
Bonzie Colson now in, checking Gerald James. And here comes Notre Dame in transition. Let's see if Jackson wants to push it a little bit. Jackson all the way to the hole, and Jackson scores.
Early offense. Great pick set by Bonzie Colson. And a nice job of Demetrius Jackson probing, get into the paint to finish.
Jackson did not go to the hole much against Wisconsin in the first half, but that's really how Notre Dame started their scoring run in the second half, as Page gets the loose ball and buries the three-pointer. Marcus Page's three-point shooting has been the story for North Carolina here in Philadelphia.
He's comfortable shooting it. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, he was 11 for 21, making 12 for 22 so far in the NCAA tournament.
He was 6 for 9 against Indiana, and he hit the first 4 early in the first half. That really set the tone for what North Carolina was able to do, and that's put 101 on the board as Jackson answers on the other end with 3. So the shots are falling early. Page again, almost the same spot, same result. Whatever he lost shooting the basketball, Marcus Page has found.
And everybody talked about the regular season shooting a 3. And bright lights are on right now, and Marcus Page is feeling it. No hesitation when he catches it behind the line now.
You talk to Notre Dame about Marcus Page's three-point shooting. They don't know the other Marcus Page because he has shot the ball extremely well from behind the arc in the 3 previous matchups as Jackson goes strong in amongst the trees and draws the foul.
Let's watch this when Bryant comes off. Matt Farrell doing a nice job, because if you're scared of his drive, because he can put the ball on the floor. But I think right now, if you're Notre Dame and Matt Farrell, you got to get up and make him drive the basketball, because he's hot behind the line.
Look at all of those three-point field goals made in the NCAA tournament. He hit 4 out of 7 against Notre Dame in the ACC tournament and was 5 for 8 in a loss in South Bend against Notre Dame earlier this year. As Jackson hits the first free throw. Substitutions coming. Bryce Johnson back in. Nate Britt and Theo Penson will enter for Roy Williams in North Carolina. And Matt Farrell is going to get his first breather for the Irish. As the hero from the second round game, Rex Pfluger checks in. He's the one who had the layup with A second and a half remaining to be SFA. 1 out of 2 for Jackson. Notre Dame by a point. Pinson looking inside to Johnson, poked away by Bonzie Colson. And on the floor is Pfluger. And let's see what we have here. Held ball, possession arrow belongs to Notre Dame.
Well, Brian, watch Bonzie Colson. And first face guarding Marcus Page. And they talk about Pfluger. He's one of their defensive stoppers that they like to come off the bench because of his athleticism and he can slide his feet. But I want to talk about Bonzie Colson on that play against Bryce Johnson. He's only 6'5". Bryce Johnson 6'10". But he has that old man game, Colson, on offense and on defense. Done a nice job of battling Bryce Johnson with his size and strength.
Mike Bray has the perfect description for Bonzie Colson. Junkyard dog.
Yes.
He's got the junkyard game going. It's Vastoria with 6 on the shot clock, and he travels. That'll send us to a timeout. Good one early. East Regional, the Elite Eight, Notre Dame, up 1. Take a look at our tournament summary already in the Elite Eight rounds. Oklahoma taking down Oregon, the 2 seed. Villanova moving on to the Final Four, first time since 2009. And how about Syracuse? We had them in St. Louis for the first time ever, a 10 seed, winning an Elite Eight game to go to the Final Four. And it's just the 4th double-digit seed to reach the Final Four. All others were 11 seeds. Congratulations to those 3, and they're awaiting one more entry, and will it be Roy Williams and the Tar Heels or the Fighting Irish? Three-pointer missed. Johnson the offensive board and a putback and a foul.
Bonzie Colson did everything right, Bryant. Boxed out, but the basketball just ricocheted too high for him. As you can see, he's boxing out. He tips it, then when he goes up, nothing he can do, and then there's a foul. One of the best jumpers and quick jumpers I've ever seen in a college basketball game. Bryce Johnson, pogo stick.
That's 6'10", and he already has 3 rebounds, 2 of them offensive, and now 9 points as we check in with Dana.
You know, you guys, Bryce is a rebounder. Smitty, you said the pogo stick. We talked about that yesterday. It's what Roy Williams loves about him. One of the top 2 or 3 rebounders that he's coached in 28 years, he said. It's not just his quick jump and going after the ball, but it's the pride he takes in it and how high he gets as the pogo stick.
You talk about Bryce Johnson, 22 double-doubles. Tied with Billy Cunningham for the most in North Carolina in the season.
And he's had double-doubles in all 3 games so far. Certainly on his way here. Jackson will fire a 3 and he hits. Demetrius Jackson. He really struggled shooting the ball Friday. It is not the case here tonight as Johnson gets it deep. And Colson is fouled. Foul belongs to North Carolina. They're going to get Pinson.
Watch this last shot. Watch Demetrius Jackson measuring him up. His hands are down. Yes, he can get up and jump, but not quick enough to bother Demetrius Jackson's jump shot. I would point out, you look at Notre Dame, 22-21, and Zach August is not on the floor. That's their size. I mean, you look at B.J. Beacham is the tallest guy for Notre Dame on the floor right now, Brian.
Well, Jackson has picked up the scoring end of it. He scored the last 9 points for the Irish. And a long 3-pointer. Beacham is true. V.J. Beacham hits his second 3, and Notre Dame is up 4.
Cool, calm, and collective. V.J. is knocking down shots in this tournament.
Beacham coming off 19 in that win over Wisconsin Friday. Nate Britt all the way in and loses it. No, I beg your pardon. It's a tip by a Notre Dame player. And that'll stay in the possession of North Carolina.
Look at his form, Brian. I'm loving that we're showing this replay. At his height, 6'8", nothing you can do. He shoots a picture perfect, elbow above the eye, and also follow through extremely well.
A little pull-up jumper goes for Nate Britt. The junior operates as the 3rd point guard. Roy Williams always has 2 ball handlers on the floor together, whether it be Joel Berry and Marcus Page, or you put Britt in that mix.
I like Nate Britt. Very poised. Does a nice job, kind of a scorer coming off the bench, but also doesn't turn the basketball over.
Shot clock at 7. Notre Dame's been comfortable deep in the shot clock. Now it's at 3. Beacham's got to go. And Beacham,
that looked good. And that's good defense by Hicks. But VJ still got that shot off. Great separation off the dribble.
Isaiah Hicks calling for the ball. Boy, Notre Dame, you just look out there. They're just giving up so much size down inside.
And Mike Bray said it best. They're mentally tough. It's hard when you have a guy like Bryce Johnson. Look at the elevation. Good contest by Colson.
Colson rips down the rebound. They got Johnson to settle. Both teams shooting the ball very well early in this game. Notre Dame has hit 9 of their first 13 shots, and 5 of those makes have been three-pointers thus far.
And if you watch these possessions, they're getting it down to 7-6. And it's kind of their burn offense. And Mike Bray talked about it during practice. He said, hey, there's no more 5-second calls, so Demetrius Jackson's going to dribble it out, and then there's Wazzy Colson. Great contest. And then being able to corral the rebound. Good job by Bonzi.
You know, it's interesting talking to Bray as well. He said we felt like we needed to pick up the pace a little bit. It's one of the reasons why Matt Farrell moved into the starting lineup before the tournament. But they decided to, in practice, as Colson goes to the hole, can't get it to go, Notre Dame decided in practice to operate on an 18-second shot clock just to get a little more rhythm and tempo.
That's pretty.
And Johnson hits. He's hit a couple of mid-range jumpers thus far. He's having a big game early. 11 points for Johnson on 5 of 8 shooting.
Also has 5 rebounds and no fouls. And as you watch right now, a little bit of a 1-3-1 from North Carolina. And great size at the point of attack in Theo Benson.
Roy Williams barking out orders. Again, the shot clock gets deep. Jackson can't get inside, but he'll take the jumper, and he pulls up and hits. And Demetrius Jackson now with 11. He's only missed 1 basket so far. He's 4 out of 5.
And he struggled in the first half versus Wisconsin. And Nate Britt, he's just one of those guys that understands how to play. He's not going to wow you a lot of speed. Just understands the head fake, pump fakes, and keeps his head up when he's dribbling the basketball.
That is truly the strength of the Tar Heels. They come at you in waves of talent. And they have dynamic scorers throughout their bench. Played 15 guys. Oh, VJ Beachum! Throw it down! Zach August can't stand to watch. VJ Beachum.
When you can score from the 3, he's done that. He's improved in mid-range, but the next level is getting to the rim. And good job by Hicks. When you can score at all 3 levels and are comfortable doing it, VJ is showing us that.
Both of these teams have massive followings here. Great crowd, sellout. Beachum got them on their feet. Hicks catches it deep and gets his fans on their feet.
I must point out, Brian, no 5-second rule anymore with the dribbler.
Steal. Britt, can he run it down? Cannot. Out of bounds.
Hey, Brian, let's watch this. VJ Beachum has been knocking down 3-point shots. A little bit of pump fake and drive. And yes, sir, Nate Britt. Come catch this one. VJ Beachum at the rim.
A very entertaining start to this one. Notre Dame and North Carolina all tied at 29. Tar Heels, the lone 1 seed still remaining. Well, Zach August has been on the bench with 2 fouls for a little over 8 minutes on the game clock. Notre Dame is holding fast. 19-17 in that pace. Shot clock never reset, by the way. It was at 7. Colson hustled down, couldn't get it to go. And now Jackson for 3. Big answer, Justin Jackson. He hit 3 threes against Indiana on Friday in the Sweet 16 matchup.
Big possession. Bonzi Colson with the shot clock running down. Took a shot, and then in early offense transition, Justin Jackson knocks down the 3.
So Notre Dame now is -1 with August on the bench. And that's a good sign for the Fighting Irish, losing their best big man. Here's Vastoria. Jackson covers. Vastoria can't hit. In transition, here comes Britt, pushing it. Justin Jackson falls down, and it's going to be off of Vastoria. So North Carolina ball.
His first stride with the basketball, Justin Jackson. He goes by you just a little bit too quick on that second dribble, and he's lost his balance. His first step was impressive.
North Carolina is now 14 for 40 from behind the arc at this point in the NCAA tournament. And they'll try another one as Britt hits. And the three-point shooting, something that has not been there all year for the Tar Heels, as Joel Berry hits, I beg your pardon. And it is a quick 6-point lead on an 8-0 North Carolina run.
I thought Demetrius Jackson went over the top, and there's Vastoria. He needed that one.
Big answer. The Philly native, Steve Vastoria. So happy to be home. He's got about 30 tickets out here today for this matchup. Turn around to Bryce Johnson. Missed the first one he tried. He's got this one. Johnson now with 13 points and 6 rebounds already.
And he wasn't rattled, Bryant. Double team coming. Just turned away from the double team to the baseline and knocked it down. That was a nice shot by Bryce Johnson.
Rex Pfluger manning the point guard right now. Gives a chance to have Jackson play off the ball, which is what Bray likes to do with him. Now Jackson inside, little turnaround, and he gets a friendly roll.
And that was good defense by Barry. Nothing he can do. Demetrius Jackson, a nice footwork in the paint. Point guards playing down there in the paint.
Shooting has been spectacular in this game so far. Johnson again, feeling it. Totally feeling it right now.
Yes, indeed. Colts is playing good defense, B.A. There's nothing he can do. Bryce Johnson just is elevating over Bonzi.
Superb shooting, and that's going to be a foul on Pinson. And that'll send us to a timeout. So Theo Pinson hit for the foul. Bryce Johnson locked and loaded down on the block for the Tar Heels. Beautiful shot looking back at Center City from the Art Museum in Philly. Say, who delivered the Buick expectation-shattering performance of the day? Tune in to Inside March Madness presented by Buick and find out. Brian Anderson with Steve Smith, Dana Jacobson, our producer Scott Cockrell, Renardo Lowe, our director. Very entertaining first half so far. Both teams shooting the ball exceptionally well. Notre Dame down 5 with the ball.
I want to point out, you can see Demetrius Jackson just running down the clock. They want to keep the possession down, but there's no 5-second call when closely guarded anymore.
And Colson goes strong against Johnson and hits. So the shooting continues. Notre Dame now 14 for 21. They've only missed 7 shots thus far. 67% from the field. Meanwhile, North Carolina's at 68%. Jackson rises up. And, Jackson pulls down the rebound. Demetrius with the board.
He did more than pull it down.
Yeah.
He was up toward the square.
Demetrius Jackson is 6'1", has a 6'5" wingspan.
And this is their burn offense. Demetrius Jackson's just going to dribble the basketball down to about 10 seconds. Then they're going to get into their play, trying to limit possessions of Carolina.
So far it has worked well. They're scoring very efficiently, and they have a foul. And that's going to be on Johnson. Bonzi Colson is giving Notre Dame some monster minutes in this first half.
Yes. Well, you can see on the offensive end, I love that Mike Bray. It's a tough bucket by him. Then they come right back to him trying to get Bryce Johnson to work on this end, and that was his first foul. We have 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in this game. Bryce Johnson doing a nice job of not fouling.
Well, it has allowed Mike Bray to have Zach August sit with those 2 early fouls. And not just buying time, but able to score the basketball as well. And again, Demetrius Jackson burning off that clock. Now he goes to work at 10. Double team comes. In trouble all the way across. Bullet pass, Vastoria, and Colson is fouled. It almost feels like, Smitty, a little panic sets in. It gets North Carolina a little bit out of what they want to do defensively, and Notre Dame's been able to cash in.
Well, on that play right there, they made an effort to double team Demetrius Jackson, but it's just taking possessions away on the offensive end because Carolina is so lethal being able to score the basketball.
Colson will shoot the free throws, 77% free throw shooter, and he hits the first. Your teams, your highlights, your scores, all in one place. You can download the Team Stream app. It's the free app from Bleacher Report. Roy Williams will go back to his bench. Isaiah Hicks checks in. Theo Penson will sit. And the scoring for Bonzie Colson, much more of a factor this year, but he was a big part of their Elite Eight run last season. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the first half. And Hicks powers his way in. Offensive foul. Beecham took the charge.
Beautiful defensive play by VJ Beecham. Hands high, took it in the chest, beat him to the first step. As you can see, greats by VJ Beecham sliding his feet. He really set up Isaiah Hicks, and Bonzie is fired up for his Irish.
Roy Williams is talking about Isaiah Hicks. He's kind of having fun with the team. He said, look, we got all 15 guys in except one. Talking about Hicks, who got in foul trouble. A lot of criticism about why Hicks doesn't start this year. Roy Williams has a tough time keeping him on the floor. Does commit a lot of fouls. He's about a foul every 3.5 minutes in the NCAA tournament. Shot clock at 2 and a wild shot. So Colson can't hit it. Another rebound for Johnson. His 7th, and on the attack to the hole. And we have a whistle on Notre Dame. Joel Berry on the attack. So Beecham will pick up his 2nd. Right on the arm, easy call.
Well, good job by Colson not allowing the and-one to bucket.
Joel Berry, the sophomore, hits the first. Hey, a reminder, AT&T at the half is coming up. Greg, Clark, Kenny, and Charles will have the first half analysis here. They'll take a look at all the other matchups, especially that Syracuse win. It's all coming up AT&T at the half as Berry hits them both. Jackson will walk it up.
Yes, indeed.
Got 1 second. Just got it across.
Way to take advantage of the new rules. No 5-second count on closely guarded. No more in college basketball, so they're just going to run it down.
Under a minute to go. Again, shot clock ticks. Down to 3. Jackson on the way in. Jackson can't get it to go. It's Johnson with a rebound. And almost to travel. Ends up in the hands of Page. Page, good pass. Jackson finishes. Boy, so patient. Let it all unfold in front of him, and he hits his man. He gets an assist as Jackson scores.
Now, I love the 2-point guard play by Carolina. But I think you got to get the basketball to Page sometime. Let him work with the basketball. He's done a good job without it, but with it, he has point guard instincts. Well, as you can see on that play. Looking at the game now, Tar Heels up 5. We want to get a closer look at 6'10" Bryce Johnson, the way he's scoring the basketball, 1 dribble elevation, and then on offensive glass goes right up. Tenacious on the glass, quick jumper, and another bucket in the paint. 15 points, 8 rebounds. Bryce Johnson doing a nice job for his Tar Heels in the first half.
And he is staring at yet another double-double, which will pass him with Billy Cunningham, whose number hangs up here in the rafters. A former Tar Heel great, played for the 76ers. Bobby Jones, another Tar Heel great, whose number hangs here at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Notre Dame in possession. Farrell will get it going. Check by Page, and it's Farrell all the way in. Tough shot. Astoria with the rebound. The shot clock expired, and didn't hit the rim, so that'll be North Carolina basketball.
You can see the substitutions right now. Kennedy Meeks coming in for Notre Dame. Bonzie Colson.
Now remember, Zach August has hardly played in this first half.
And Rex Pfluger coming in.
August with 2 fouls, so Gray had a few thoughts there. He ends up with Pfluger on the floor. He's fouled out twice this year. 5 minutes of game action, and those 2 fouls here tonight. Berry, he'll let it go. Short. And the clock will expire on this first half. Boy, what a game. What a first half we have had in this Elite Eight matchup. An all-ACC affair. Notre Dame and North Carolina. The largest lead for either team was 6. That was for North Carolina. Had 6 ties and 8 lead changes. Demetrius Jackson, 13 points. Bryce Johnson, 15 and 8 as we send it over to Dana.
Coach, you promised us this would be very different than the first 2 games, and it is so far. Defensively, what do you need to do at this point to get more of what you've seen in this end of the first half?
Well, right now they're winning the game of pace and tempo, so we've got to do a better job. Once there's a screen on the ball and we switch, we got to do a better job of guarding the guy.
You have to be happy with what you've seen out of Bryce Johnson. He got off to a slow start the other night. How do you get the rest of the bigs to sort of follow suit?
Well, we've got to get the ball inside. Bryce is settling for jump shots. We want it inside as well, Dana.
Thanks, Coach.
And our thanks to Roy Williams, head coach of the Tar Heels. That's the end of the first half with the score. North Carolina 43, Notre Dame 38. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Just about ready for the much anticipated start of the second half. Carolina by 5. And a moment ago, Dana caught up with head coach Mike Bray.
What do you need that's different in the second half to regain that lead?
Well, I love where we are. We're burning the heck out of that clock tonight, and we got to continue to do that. Can we get a little better defensively? And we've been a second half defensive group, but I want that offensive tempo, and I want to be in game situations with 5 minutes to go because we've been in a lot of those.
And you're injury-free in the first half. Congratulations
Only the coach,
on that.
I feel great.
That's right, only the coach. He is wearing a boot. He has a calf injury. And those thoughts from Mike Bray as we get going in the second half. And Steve, you talked the entire first half about Notre Dame's offense, the fact that they were able to burn that clock, as he said. And he limiting the possessions of North Carolina seems to be working for them right now. Down 5 as we begin playing the second half. Bryce Johnson had a huge first half. Johnson with 15 points.
And also they got a chance, BA, to play basically the entire first half without Zach August. He only played 5 minutes. They gave up 7 points on the offensive glass, second chance points. That could have been the difference in the first half if Zach August was playing.
I think Notre Dame would have been content just to hold serve, weather the storm with August out, their best big man, but they were only -3 in scoring for the final 15 minutes of that first half as Joe Barry misfires on a 3, and it's Beecham who flies high for the rebound.
Minor adjustment, but huge right now if Carolina doesn't take advantage. Vestoria started the game on Bryce Johnson. He was having his way, and they had to go to Bonzi Colson. Right now they're starting Zach August, but Vestoria's guarding Kennedy Meeks, and he had a great seal. And Joel Berry took the 3-point shot, could have got it down to Kennedy Meeks.
Again, the shot clock gets deep. Jackson kicks it to Farrell. And with 2 on the clock, Jackson will let a 3 go. Can't get it to go, and Meeks with the rebound.
He wants to burn offense, Brian. But I'm with Charles Barkley. A little bit quicker. Yes, run the shot clock down, but you got to shoot it around 9, around 8. They're getting it down to like 4.
Barry inside to Kennedy Meeks. So easy basket inside for Carolina. Their lead pushes to 7. Excellent shooting in the first half for Notre Dame. They've been a second half team. Mike Bray mentioned to Dana how good they've been, especially in the final 5 minutes of games in this tournament. August, we'll see how he gets back in the flow after sitting most of the first half. And that's going to be a foul on North Carolina. As you take a look at these statistics from the first half, just superb shooting for both teams. North Carolina's theme of making the 3-point shots continued. Hit 4 out of 6 in that first half. Marcus Page was 2 for 3 from behind the arc.
I'd love to see Marcus Page get some more touches. I think for Carolina, the keys are you got to pound them in a half-court situation, throw it down on the post of these guards in transitions. That's time for you to make plays. But in half-court, find a way to get it down to these bigs.
Vestoria to the hole. Vestoria with 7. He's hit a 3 as well for Notre Dame, but primarily his success has come on the attack for the Irish. Marcus Page kicks it. Jackson for 3 in the corner. No. And Meeks puts it back. We had free reign inside that time. The big body of Kennedy Meeks.
Reason why, Brian, Notre Dame, VJ Beacham had to front him, and then the shot went up. Inside position by Kennedy Meeks.
North Carolina is now +6 in the rebounding department over Notre Dame. Jackson to August, going up top. And it looks like Johnson got a hand on it. He's the one who pulls it down. So disruptive in there. That play worked well against Wisconsin for Notre Dame. Meeks inside again, no problem. All that size, all that height, and North Carolina starting to set some roots down in the paint.
Well, they got to do it in the paint, and that's definitely a bit of timeout by Mike Bray.
Kennedy Meeks working inside. This is the largest lead of the game for North Carolina. Takes us to a timeout. Rasheed Wallace is here. He's loving every minute of it. The NCAA tournament and Coke team up for great taste. Great atmosphere inside the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. See, Bonzie Colson is in. So Roy Williams has forced the hand of Mike Bray and Notre Dame. And the Irish are going to go big now. Farrell is out, trying to get some size on the floor to counter the North Carolina size. That's a 10-2 Carolina run going back to the end of the first half. And for now, Farrell will sit.
And that last play, Bryce Johnson over the top pass to Kennedy Meeks, and then on this possession, North Carolina likes to run and jump sometime, and Demetrius Jackson just attacked the guard, and that's what Mike Bray was talking about. If they come in with run and jump, attack it, don't retreat dribble.
North Carolina with their 5 starters still in. And here's Colson, double team comes. Astoria will fire up in mid-range, can't get it, and Johnson's there for another rebound. That's number 9. 15 points, 9 boards for Bryce Johnson. Good matchup inside with August and Meeks. Barry gives it, Meeks powers his way in. Kennedy Meeks has come alive in the last 2 games. They have an injury here.
That's Demetrius Jackson down.
Clutching at his right ankle, right foot. Well, that would be a significant loss as Jackson tries to walk it off. That'll take us to a commercial.
An 11-point lead for North Carolina over Notre Dame right now. And if the Tar Heels can advance to the Final Four, Chris Jenkins there from Villanova will be joined by his brother, Nate Britt. I say brothers because that's what they are legally. The two started living in the Britts' home when they were around 10 or 11, I was told. And when I got a chance to talk with Jenkins before, he said the Britts soon became his legal guardians, and now they are brothers for life. He said he's so excited because he knows what the feeling is like when you advance to the Final Four. He can't wait to see what happens. Maybe more nervous right now than he was last night.
Yeah, the city is abuzz as Villanova advances to the Final Four out of the Big East. Just to update you on Demetrius Jackson, you see he's still on the floor. He was clutching at his right foot or right ankle during the timeout, but not enough to keep him out. He has played in all but 5 minutes of Notre Dame's minutes in this tournament. He is their floor general. Turnover here, though. Meeks and Barry, and Jackson comes back and gets it right back. The man who had the steal that secured the game against Wisconsin steals one back from UNC. And on the baseline is Johnson. That'll be Notre Dame ball.
This is a great recovery. I mean, going after it, and he steals it. That was an easy layup for Barry. And Chris Jenkins from Villanova, he's in range right now. Yeah, he can shoot it. And this game right here is obviously pivotal time right now for Notre Dame, down 11.
See how effective Jackson can be. Gets the screen from August. Jackson all the way in with a right-hand finish.
Good job by Jackson, going a little bit earlier in their burn offense. Instead of taking the clock down to 7-6, winning it by 11 on that play. And on that drive, he took away Kennedy Meeks' jumping ability, went right to his chest.
This will be a key window for Notre Dame. As Bray goes big, we got a 3-point try from Barry, no good. August clears the rebound away. And here's Jackson with a three. Got it. Demetrius Jackson, 18 points. His third three-point hit.
That's a tough shot off the dribble from three. And here's Marcus Page. Great separation. Good fly out.
Bullet pass in there to Johnson and a travel. Bryce Johnson walks with it. Turnover, North Carolina. Roy Williams disagrees. I guess that foot or that ankle is all right here, Smitty.
Yeah, he's trying to get to the Final Four. That's good defense. The elevation off of to dribble three. It's a tough shot, and Demetrius Jackson's trying to will the Irish to the Final Four. And Carolina, key. They got to go inside.
Jackson averages 15 and a half for the Irish. Had 16 against Wisconsin. He has 18 already. Just under 14 to play in regulation. The final Elite Eight matchup of this year's tournament. And up top for August, and it goes at a foul. August somehow got a fingertip on it and knocks it through, and a chance at a three-point possession for the Irish.
Beautiful job by Demetrius Jackson, but Hicks played that well. Yes, it was contact, but Zach August to be able to gather and also still put it in. Big time. He shows his little muscles right there.
Last flick of the wrist that got it to go, and it gets a friendly roll on a free throw. And just like that, Notre Dame with an 8-0 run. They are within three. Page is fouled. Vistoria usually checks the best perimeter defender. He is a supreme defensive player, but Page is a handful.
And I know they play 2 point guards, but you got to put the basketball in Marcus Page's hand. He's 2 for 3 from the three-point line. He's played a lot of minutes, but he hasn't had a lot of touches.
All the number ones are out. North Carolina still alive. Isaiah Hicks. And over the back, Johnson. So the North Carolina big man with a foul and just got a technical. He threw the ball behind him.
Let's watch the play. Coming over the back, and yes, he catches it. Bryce Johnson has a foul. He throws it up. And you can see the referee comes right in and texts Bryce Johnson.
Easy call. Michael Stevens, the official, makes that call. That's the third foul on Bryce Johnson. You get 2 fouls on that play. Vistoria hits the free throw. And just like that, Bryce Johnson cruising along, no foul trouble. Monster game going with 15 points and 9 rebounds. And he's going to have to sit with 3. Vistoria hits them both. And the Irish will have the possession here. That could be a huge play in this game, as the Irish are now within 1.
And if you're Carolina, this is where Hicks has to be huge. He's the inside presence. They're going small to match Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're going small. Notre Dame's going big, and they're about meeting halfway. It's Colson strong to the rack. Bonzie Colson gives Notre Dame the lead. A 12-0 run for the Fighting Irish.
That is huge. You talked about it, B.A. Now Notre Dame has the size and advantage down there on the block.
Marcus Page takes Vistoria up and over August. Wow. But just to the arc on it to get it over Zach August. Page, when you need a basket the most, if you're Carolina, he delivers.
Yes, and Roy Williams and the Tar Heels get the basketball to Page right now. Let him work. He's been comfortable all tournament.
Snaps a 12-0 run for the Fighting Irish. And it's put away. Theo Benson got a hand on it. Looking for a timeout. Did they give it to him? They did. Defensive play. Theo Benson picks the pocket, gets the timeout. But Notre Dame on a run. And we got a ball game again. Ended up 12-0 Irish. Timeout on the floor. North Carolina ball.
Let's watch Notre Dame's run. A 12-2 scoring run for the Irish. 3-point from Demetrius Jackson. Then the lob. Another 3-point play the old-fashioned way by Zach August. And then the old man, Bonzie Colson, down on the block. And you can see, Brian, Notre Dame, they went big. They were down 51-40. And then Bryce Johnson gets in foul trouble. They go small. And now Notre Dame is staying big.
North Carolina has the lead, just had a steal by Pinson. He got the timeout as he was on the floor. So Carolina with the ball up 1. We'll see if they have an answer. Page runs into a wall in Vistoria. And now Page will fire up a 3. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Barry, little floater, and it'll fall. That's a big basket for North Carolina. Think about that 3.5-minute window for Notre Dame. Demetrius Jackson looks like he's injured. He walks off the floor, takes the timeout, but he comes back, immediately hits a layup, then a 3. And then Notre Dame goes on that 12-2 run. Well, that's an offensive foul going the other way.
Michael Stevens catches Steve Vastoria on a moving screen for VJ Beacham. That's his third. Vastoria, his fouls for him, and VJ Beacham knocked that shot down too.
Vastoria is a guy who makes such an impact on a game even when he's not filling up the stat sheet with points. But he has 9 here tonight. But those 3 fouls are significant. Their best defender. North Carolina trying to wrestle it back. Vastoria falls down. And Page goes all the way in. He's fouled. And the lefty will go to the line to shoot free throws. And Mike Bray very close to getting a technical there.
I love this by Marcus Page. Did settle, going right to the rim. He got his arm on the play. Up top, Nova on this play coming down. He got his arm. Good call.
Mike Bray just got a bench warning, the Notre Dame bench, led by the head coach. Bray was very animated after that foul as Page knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, it's tennis leg, right?
Yes, that's what he called it, tennis leg.
He was moving pretty well on that play.
It's not the first step, Smitty. It's the second one. It's when he puts the brakes on. He almost fell onto the floor with the boot on that right calf. So North Carolina has answered. That steal by Pinson. Got the timeout. Tar Heels have come back. They now lead by 5. Jackson probing. Jackson, little floater. The one-hander right there. Flying high for the board, Isaiah Hicks. A one-handed rebound. Now Pinson on the attack. Oh, he's fouled hard. See who they get here. That's going to be on Beacham. I beg your pardon, Zach August, which will be his third. 3-0 is the foul, not 3.
You could have called it on either guy.
Could have.
Theo Pinson, good job of driving the basketball. He's made an impact in the few minutes he's played so far.
A reminder, you can experience every moment of tonight's game live on the CBS Sports app. Get real-time expert analysis, instant stats, and all the latest trending news. Download the CBS Sports app now. Theo Pinson at the line, 69% free throw shooter, misses them both. Oh, it's up in the air, and Hicks will be credited with the basket. I think Colson got as much hand on it as Hicks did, and it ends up as a North Carolina bucket. Wow,
6'9". Isaiah Hicks. Colson did a nice job of boxing out. A little look from Isaiah Hicks knocking it in. Like you said, Colson kind of helped him.
Hicks was in all kind of foul trouble against Indiana. Didn't play much. Here's Jackson for 3, short. And here come the Tar Heels on an 8-0 run right now. Here's Page. That 3-pointer, no good. Colson fighting hard, but he's giving up a lot in there. And that's North Carolina ball. The size is just wearing down the Irish. Check this out.
This is a great box out by Colson, but Hicks with the left hand being able to knock it in. You can see he did a nice job, Colson, but Hicks, that's a beautiful play to be able to knock that one in.
Get a second opportunity down here. Hicks feeling it, working inside. That's poked away by Beacham. And North Carolina ball, 23 on the shot clock. Not that the shot clock comes into play much with the Tar Heels.
And if you're Notre Dame, the guards and the wings are going to have to rebound. Zach August and Bonzi, you just have to box out and stay down and let other guys come in and rebound the basketball.
Benson quickly a hesitation, and he gets all the way to the rim. Theo Benson sparked this rally for the Tar Heels. A 10-0 run. Timeout. Mike Bray.
Watch Theo Benson has done a nice job in the minutes playing for Bryce Johnson. They're going smaller. He's driving it into the chest of Zach. Bucket.
Don't forget, Saturday, March Madness rolls to Houston, the Final Four. And next Monday, April 4th, the championship game, both on TBS. They're all ready to roll down in Texas. One last entry here in Philadelphia. 3-year set, the battle between Notre Dame and Carolina for the last spot. Demetrius Jackson looks like he's hobbled. He's limping. Just took a spell coming out of that timeout. Kicks it, VJ Beacham in the corner. Can't get it to go. That's August. He got his hands on it, and a fight for it. Page, wow, what a play. Up ahead, Benson up top. Oh, throw it down. Isaiah Hicks running the floor. And the Tar Heels up 11.
Theo Benson with a nice pass to Hicks. The Marcus Page battling Zach August to come up with the basketball. Transition bucket for Carolina.
North Carolina has answered the 12-0 Notre Dame run with 12 unanswered of their own. Shot clock at 4. Jackson fouled. Goes strong on that bum ankle.
Theo Benson doing a nice job putting it way up high, and Isaiah Hicks finishing off for the Tar Heels. Demetrius Jackson, nothing he can do.
Right. Much more of a factor in this game is Isaiah Hicks. His coach was ragging on him a little bit about all the foul trouble in the Indiana game. Jackson trying to snap this run for Carolina, does so. Joe Barry is in for Carolina. Since that technical foul on Bryce Johnson, it's been a 12-5, like a 12-6 now scoring run. I think the key play there was the Theo Benson steal that really energized the Tar Heels on the bench.
He has 3 assists.
Wide open, Nate Britt, no. And Benson flying high for the board, and the putback. Theo Benson had to break his way into the press conference the other day. All the starters were up. He walked up and said, "Where's my name tag? Where's my microphone?"
The way he's playing right now, he's trying to get on that podium. 4 points, 4 assists, and a steal.
See if Notre Dame can answer. Down 11 now. Jackson, a lot of dribbling. Here's Beacham. Shot clock at 5 again. Off balance. The floater by Beacham goes. So VJ Beacham now with 13 points. But Theo Benson, Smitty, he has been a major key in the second half.
You can see right here on the offensive glass, in traffic, and he finishes for his 4th point.
Well, normally a game reset not as relevant with 8:05 remaining in regulation, but Mike Bray just took his final timeout in regulation here. Notre Dame is out of TOs the rest of the way, sensing a big moment with Notre Dame on defense, and Carolina up 9, pushed their lead to 11. That has been their largest lead of the game.
And they're going to this 2-3 zone, trying to buy some time. And if Carolina can knock shots down, it'll force Notre Dame back into man-to-man.
Johnson, he's been great in the mid-range as well. He's hit a couple of turnarounds. He's hit a couple just inside the free throw line.
You see his facial expression? He's not saying anything. I can assure you, Roy Williams said, control your emotions.
Johnson got a technical and he threw the basketball. It's going to be a foul on a three-point try. So Beecham will get 3 free throws here.
Roy Williams, coaches, they despise you following a jump shot shooter, especially from the three-point line.
Beecham, just a 55% free throw shooter. But he made a couple of big ones when it counted against Wisconsin. Hits the first, 2 more coming. Follow all your favorite NCAA events throughout the year with the official NCAA Sports app. Get scores, brackets, live updates, and live streaming of NCAA championships all year long with NCAA Sports. 1 out of 2. Rex Pfluger will re-enter the game. The man who has his page in Notre Dame NCAA tournament lore with that game-winning layup against SFA in round 2. 2 out of 3 for Beecham. Carolina by 9 with the ball.
They're going small. Irish. You're Carolina. Put the basketball in the hands of Bryce Johnson against Fostoria down on the block.
Kennedy Meeks looking inside, but he's cleared out some space for Joel Berry. Boy, Joel Berry had an easy run to the rim. Kennedy Meeks has had a nice game. He scored the first 8 points of this second half. Having to respect his inside presence. Berry goes all the way to the hole. Here's Jackson, gives it up. Beecham got Johnson on him. Shot clock at 4. Jackson kicks it. Beecham, 3-point try. Buries it in the face of Johnson. Wow. I think Johnson might have got a piece of it, actually. If not, he was close. Still goes in.
Bia, you're right. If he did, it still went in, but I think his contest had Beecham put a little bit more arch on that shot.
Benson looking inside. Meeks. And he's fouled. Colson on the foul. That's about all you can do when you catch the ball that deep.
Let's watch this contest. Johnson way up. Just missed it. But great follow through and concentration by VJ Beecham.
Got to give him a lot of credit, Beecham, for knocking that down with 6'10" coming at him. So Kennedy Meeks will shoot the free throws here. Carolina back up 9 now as we check in with Dana Jacobson.
You guys are talking about VJ Beecham. He went over to Europe this summer with USA East Coast All-Star team. He was facing a lot of guys who were playing professionally, and he says that was huge in his development this offseason. Helped on positioning when it comes to rebounding and what we're seeing in those outside shots.
And Dana, you figure it's going to be Beecham who's going to have to hit more threes on the way in if Notre Dame is going to come back in this one.
Coach Bray talked about VJ Beecham. I said, what's been the improvement? Coach, he said, didn't play well in March Madness last year. And I told him this year, don't look over your shoulder. You're starting, you're playing. Just come out there and play your game. And he has.
So a couple of free throws for Meeks gives him 10 now, all 10 coming in the second half. Scored the first 8 points of this half. And Astoria with the right hand, can't get the spin to go. It's Jackson with the rebound. Carolina wants to push it. The big man who can handle it in Jackson. They'll give it to his guards. Johnson inside, little turnaround. That's a shot. No, but Jackson there for the follow. Justin Jackson pushes the Carolina lead to 12. Their biggest lead.
Roy Williams is all over the team right now because he feels it. Couple stops now, it'll put this game out of reach for Notre Dame unless they can come and hit some threes and get back into it.
Barry almost picked the pocket of Jackson. Jackson gets him in the air and then a floater. He is so strong in there. Big basket for the Irish.
Roy Williams wanted that possession, B.A.
Even with a knee brace on, he's getting in his defensive stance. These two hobbled coaches trying to stay upright.
The Irish won't go away.
Johnson, too easy for him. He just elevates to a level nobody can get there. Bryce Johnson stacking up a big night tonight. 19 points, 9 rebounds. And now Barry gets his hands on it. Somehow Jackson got it back. Colson up top, blocked by Johnson. Colson with the follow.
I can't believe you said blocked by Johnson. I couldn't believe he got to that basketball, B.A.
That was way above the rim. Barry, the pump, gets it to go. Just feels like all the Carolina baskets are easy. Notre Dame baskets, they're having to work hard for them.
Well, you can't trade baskets at this point of the game. If you're the Irish, you got to get some stops.
Matt Farrell back in there with Jackson, trying to get him a break off the ball. Farrell finds Jackson. There he is, with a pull-up. Got it.
He's so good coming off screens. You give the Irish a lot of credit. They set some great screens, great angles.
Demetrius Jackson has 24 points on 9 of 14 shooting. 3 of those 9 makes are three-pointers. Marcus Page, long-range three. Not there. Colson with the rebound. Irish down 10. 3:15 left. Winner goes to the Final Four. Astoria for 3. And it's Page with the board. North Carolina trying to be the lone 1 seed to make it to Houston. The others have been eliminated. Roy Williams, he's 65 years of age. He's going to have knee surgery at the end of the year. He's getting low. Knee brace and all, so I could do better than that. Sunday night, Philadelphia. East Regional Final. Let's take a look at the Capital One Cup Impact Performance Stream.
It's Bryce Johnson, 19 points, 9 rebounds. 9 less damage in the first half, as you can see. Close to get another double-double. You get the basketball to him. His elevation and his size and skill set has been too much for the Irish. But I think in this run, when he was out with the technical foul, it's been Pinson, Meeks, and Barry. Those 3 have played extremely well.
North Carolina has 42 of their 77 points in the paint. They've scored 12 on mid-range jumpers. And Johnson has most of those. They've scored 12 on three-pointers, and the other 11 coming at the free throw line. So it's balanced, but it's in the paint more than anything else. And there's a mid-range from Johnson. He hits. What a night. 21 for Bryce Johnson. He's missed just 5 shots all night.
Fantastic play by Roy Williams out of the timeout against his own.
Jackson gets all the way to the rack and scores. Very similar to how he scored what would be the winning basket against Wisconsin late in their Sweet 16 win.
And the Irish are out of the 2-3 zone, back to man-to-man, only 2 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Marcus Page gets by Farrell all the way in. No. Jackson there pulling away, and they'll get a new 30 on the clock.
Smart play by Theo Pinson. Had a chance to shoot a 3, but understand clock management and score right now.
And now foul, Beecham. That is 11 offensive rebounds for North Carolina. Now they are plus 14 on the rebounding margin. Plus 7 on the offensive rebounding board. And if you're just picking us up here, Notre Dame is out of timeouts, and it's been that way since the 8-minute mark. Mike Bray calling a ton of timeouts early, just trying to get things settled. He put the zone back in. See the foul situation. Both teams in the bonus. And we got a 1-and-1 coming up here with Justin Jackson. Matt Farrell back in. August is out. A couple of ball handlers on the floor for the Irish. Carolina, they've been good from the free throw line, but a miss there. They get the ball back. So a third opportunity here. For a long time on the defensive end, this trip down the floor for the Fighting Irish.
And they went small. Off their free throw. No Zach August couldn't get the rebound.
And Mike Bray calling for a foul. Gets the foul. Farrell on Pinson. And free throws for Pinson coming. After the game, get all the tournament highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, only on TBS.
Carolina has to knock down these free throws. It's going to be a 5 free throw shooting game coming down this last minute, 39 seconds.
12 out of 15 from the free throw line. Pinson makes his first after missing his first 2. Maybe the biggest play of the game. Pinson steal with 12:22 on the clock, with Carolina up 1. And the game changed significantly from that point. North Carolina went on a 12-0 run.
And now Theo's checking Demetrius Jackson.
Astoria all the way in and gets it to go. An impressive basket. Press is on and fouls coming. Pinson goes back to the line. Well, somehow Steve Astoria got this one to the rim.
We'll get to the rim, and now you see all the Giants. They're swiping at it, and it just spent in for Steve Astoria. What a game for Theo Pinson, for me. It's only 6 points and 4 assists and a couple of rebounds, but huge plays.
Misses. Johnson with a rebound. Another offensive board. And a double-double for Bryce Johnson. Foul comes immediately. Well, the rebounding is crushing Notre Dame right now. The 13th offensive rebound for Carolina.
You can see right here, Bonzie Colson trying to box him out. We'd love to see Zach August on Bryce Johnson's side, on his side on the free throw line. And Bryce just working it first to the basketball. He's going to get it.
And he gets a friendly bounce, hits the first free throw. Another double-double in this NCAA tournament for Bryce Johnson. 20 points, 10 rebounds against Indiana. In their win over Providence in the second round, he went for 21 and 10. 4 consecutive double-doubles. He hits 2 big free throws, and the Tar Heels are 1:17 away from a Final Four. And foul on Barry. And that'll mean free throws for Notre Dame.
Still not over. 12-point lead for the Tar Heels. The Irish has to knock down these free throws. I know the Tar Heels are trying to take the basketball out of Demetrius Jackson's hand, but you don't want the clock to stop. You don't want to foul. You want to keep him in front of you and contest.
Can't get the free throw to go. That's Johnson with another rebound. And Notre Dame trying to foul him, cannot. And now it's 3-on-2, and he kicks it back. Smart play, Marcus Page. And that clock ticks. Under a minute to go. They can't get the foul. But they need to foul. Pinson playing keep away. No fouls coming here. Shot clock ticks. All the way across. Page. And a foul with 3 on the shot clock on Jackson. Wow.
Carolina doing a nice job of moving the basketball, not letting the Irish foul. And yes, Demetrius Jackson, he got him on his arm, and Marcus Page going to the free throw line.
Marcus Page trying to add to it. Well, he is clutch when it counts. And the lead is now 13 for Carolina. But Notre Dame, they scored 8 points in 19 seconds at the end of the game against Wisconsin. But the reality is starting to set in now, down 14. Another Elite 8 run for the Fighting Irish back-to-back years. They lost to Kentucky in a thriller last year. And the 1 seed Carolina Tar Heels are going to be the exit this season. Jackson for 3. Colson, offensive board. And there's Johnson again, right out. The Tar Heels poised to move on to the Final Four. And looking like that number 1 seed, they're going to be the lone number 1 seed in Houston.
I mean, just fantastic by the Tar Heels, and then you get a chance to look at Notre Dame, the season they've had.
6th NCAA tournament appearance in the last 7 years. Back-to-back Elite Eights. They're going to lose Zach August and A.J. Burgett. Mike Bray had a really good game plan in the first half. And for a good chunk of that second half after that 12-0 run. And listen to this hand for Demetrius Jackson on his way out.
That's just fantastic. Tar Heels fans giving him a round of applause. Obviously the Irish fans, and then embraced by him and Mike Bray. They have such good chemistry.
And Roy Williams will give Bryce Johnson a moment on his way out, and they stand behind that bench. What a game. Now Marcus Page right behind him. The roommates, best friends, and the tears streaming down for Demetrius Jackson. Great effort by the Irish here tonight. Fairly hits a three. Notre Dame's going to finish 24-12. And Mike Bray's team has won at least 24 games in 3 of the last 4 years. But this is a Carolina story tonight. Their 32nd win. And the 19th Final Four in school history, the most all time. Roy Williams and Mike Bray. A handshake for the Hobble coaches, and that's it. The game is over. And the Carolina Tar Heels are moving on to the Final Four in Houston. Marcus Page goes for 13 points. Johnson 25 and 12.
Just a complete effort by the Tar Heels. BA, inside, outside. Bench players coming in making huge plays. They have it all, the Tar Heels. Good job by Coach Roy Williams.
And it'll be from one ACC matchup to another as Syracuse awaits. Saturday in Houston, North Carolina and the Qs, and the Hall of Fame coaches Jim Boeheim and Roy Williams will match up. North Carolina has won the last 3 meetings against Syracuse, by the way, including both this season. Roy Williams standing by with Dana Jacobson. Take it away, Dana.
Coach, an amazing moment for you here. We talked about it yesterday. You're going to your 8th Final Four, and you're taking these guys to your 1st.
It's a fantastic feeling. These kids have been unbelievable. They made a huge run, and we made a run. Watch out. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He's going to hand out hats.
That's right. They made a great run, and we made a great run right back at them. These guys were phenomenal. Bryce made a big mistake, but he also played like crazy for us all year long. It's a fine feeling right now.
Theo Pinson tried to bust into your press conference the other day. He played well enough probably to get into the press conference.
It's the offensive rebound like that, I'll let him in.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations. An amazing time. I'm looking for Bryce. Oh, he's on my other side here. Bryce, for you, an amazing moment where you finally get to the Final Four. What is this like for you?
Man, it means a lot. I mean, just look over there, man. My teammates are so happy, man. It took us 4 years to do this, but hey, we're finally there.
You usually have Marcus right by your side. It's like a magnet between you guys. What do you think this is going to be like tonight for you as you reflect ahead?
I don't know. I'm just ready to go home, man. I'm going to celebrate this, but I'm ready to go home. It's been a long week.
Double-double for you again, now 23 for the season, which sets a North Carolina record. What does that mean in a game like this?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it's just all the hard work we put in. And I just thank my teammates for helping me out get to this point.
Enjoy. Congratulations. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Dana. 2 guys, Bryce Johnson and Marcus Page, on their way to degrees at North Carolina, and they are on their way to a Final Four. What an embrace. The star player and the star coach. More after this from Philly. So the Final Four is all set in Houston. Saturday, tip time 6:09 Eastern on TBS. Villanova and Oklahoma, the 2 seeds will match up. And then another matchup of the ACC, North Carolina and Syracuse. It'll be the 4th meeting between North Carolina and Syracuse in the NCAA tournament. Great job by all. So much fun. Once again, our final, Carolina 88, Notre Dame 74. For Steve Smith, Dana Jacobson, and the rest of our terrific crew, I'm Brian Anderson saying so long from Philadelphia. Coming up, Inside March Madness, presented by Buick. Final four all set. We got the Oklahoma Sooners, West Regional champs. The Villanova Wildcats out of the Big East. They won the South Regional. And how about the 10 seed? Syracuse, an improbable run. They're going back to a Final Four, winning the Midwest Regional. And here in the East, the Tar Heels of North Carolina. TBS, your home for the Final Four in the national championship.